going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Koop'd podcast. The podcast that is really into 7-Eleven zero sugar sweet tea right now. This shit's really fucking good. So.
Very good. No calories. Very important.
No calories. I'm saying it's important. But my name is Koopa, folks. I am your host and MC here, and I am joined by one of my very good friends on the podcast where we talk about everything and anything in pop culture. Returning guest, everybody's favorite DJ, commentator, MC, man, a jack of all trades, and one of my favorite people to have on the show. The list goes on. It's Mr. DJ Banjo. Banjo, my man, how are you?
I am great, Koopa. I'm happy to be cooped up on the Koop'd Up podcast once again. Man, like it almost feels like, because I was thinking about you today, like I said, because I was like, bro, like I really don't get to talk about any like fun nerd like movie stuff with anybody anymore, just because it's like, because I'm a football man, but it's just like, dog, like I don't get to talk about like the real inner workings of anything with a lot of people anymore. I get this and then my crew on Wednesdays, but then that's it. That's literally it. But it's just like, yeah, man, I'm so excited to just be back here to talk about a bunch of fun stuff on your docket, which I'm sure you've been building a list.
Yeah, I've been using these last few episodes of my podcast as just an excuse to kind of not only bring in some fresh faces that I had the last couple of weeks, but also to catch up with some old friends, some old favorites. Because, for those of you not in the know, the podcast went on hiatus for a little bit, and then back in January we did an episode right after the Super Bowl, and a whole lot of things changed. Notably, so I got surgery, so I am now. Let's see. April was 6 months. I'm like 6 months removed from gastric bypass surgery. So,
Nice.
Everything's healthy and great. And now I'm back in a space creatively where I want to start talking about stuff because a lot has happened. And, I'm just going through the rounds with all of my many people. Because like you have different subsections of your friend groups you can talk to certain things about. I got my nerd friends and then I got my normal friends. And then I kind of have that weird Venn diagram of people that kind of squeeze in there. And I think those are the best people that can kind of cover all your bases. People that can talk to you about the really good movies and shows that are out right now, but that can also talk about how the Chiefs are going for the three-peat this year. Can they do it?
Yes, they can. Like, I don't know if anybody saw the 49ers game last night, but the fact that you have basically the smartest coach in the NFL, along with just the best quarterback in the NFL, is a combination that would make anybody just like, it should really, people aren't scared of the Chiefs, quote unquote, but they should be scared of the Chiefs. And I say this because, like, if Pat Mahomes can have a stat line with no thrown touchdowns and 2 interceptions, less than 200 yards throwing, and still win a game 30-15. This is something that like y'all should be really paying attention to because you're watching a master at work. Can they get the three-peat? I've always said, based off the last couple of years, if the Chiefs get into the playoffs, they're gonna go to an AFC championship minimum, right? But like, going for the three-peat, I'm not going to say yes, but I will say that they are playing against history at this point, right? They're playing against history. They're not really worried about the teams in the NFL. They're worried about the Dan Marino 72 Dolphins and they're worried about the Patriots of like the early 2000s and they're worried about the Cowboys of the 90s. And it's just like, these are the teams that they're really playing against, right? Because they want this three-peat so very bad, and you can tell that like the way that they're playing, like, come on, bro, this roster is dilapidated. Travis Kelce looks washed. Pat Mahomes isn't doing very Mahomesian things, right? The wide receiver group is a hazmat. we have no Hollywood Brown. We have no Rashee Rice. We're throwing touchdowns, hoping Juju Smith-Schuster can make something happen. We're getting nobody. I'm very certain for the trade deadline. Devontae Adams went and threw his career away over there at the Jets. So I have no idea how the Chiefs are going to pull this off, but I just need them to do this, and I will stop being a certified yapper for the Chiefs if they do this, if they get this three-peat.
Yeah, the more I watch, I'm also a big football head. Shout out to my fantasy team that got smoked this week, so we're having
Same.
a we're having a bad time over here.
Golly, dude.
Yeah, it's tough, but Travis Kelsey looks more and more like a podcast host every day, so it's tough, man.
I'm
It's
telling
tough,
you, dude. Like,
Eh, But no, I agree with everything you said. It's just like I have a hard time betting against them. Like as much as I want to believe in, like are the Bills going to get over the hump? If anybody else is going to put up a fight in the conference, but then it's just like you look at what the Chiefs are doing. Patrick Mahomes is just at this point it's just resume building, and he's I'm older than he is. Patrick Mahomes he's just turned 29 years old, so it's like it's one of those things that just I will refuse to sleep on this team in any capacity. Um, until they give me reason to not do so. Like you said, he's out here doing it with scrubs, with literally like with absolute junk to play with, and God bless him, man.
we're literally looking for people just like, hey, look, can you catch a football? Like, can you catch a football? Can you decently run a route, please? Just literally anything.
yeah,
And it's wild that like they have this much confidence to be like, you know what, we really don't want to go after anybody for the trade deadline. Like we're good. Honestly, we'll have
yeah,
Sky Moore and company pick up a football or throw or get a football thrown to them so they can catch it. It'll be fine. I promise. I mean, they're 6-0, and until look. I'm not a professional ball player, right? I'm a certified yapper, just like you.
yes, sir.
If you believe in it, I believe in it. That's all I can say. Like if y'all believe in it, I believe in it.
I have this thing where I just have like irrational confidence about certain things, and like I've been I like look at certain like athlete stat lines. Like for example, we're recording this on the Monday after uh the New York Liberty just won the WNBA last
Oh yeah,
night. I've been the most locked into women's basketball that I have been in a long time.
hell yeah.
Um, and listen, I watched Sabrina Ionescu go 1 for 19 from the field last night, and I was just like, I could definitely do that. I could definitely put up a 1 for 19 or like she went like ice cold after hitting one of the most insane jump shots I've ever seen in my entire life. She
Right.
is good from the parking lot. Like I've been watching Sabrina Ionescu for the last like 4 years since he's been on the Liberty, and
Nice.
she's gone like 5 for 40 the last like two games 4 and 5. I'm just like I could totally do that. Like I could definitely make 5 WNBA shots
Like
sure.
those college game days where you're like, no, I can make a 40-yard field goal for 40 grand.
For a scholarship.
For a scholarship, I can do that. Let me ask you something, right? Listen, I know your heart is going to be broken when I ask you this. Look, Mets, right? Not going. Yankees are going. So I'm not a baseball guy, admittedly, right? I'm not a baseball person. I need to know the lore. Why do we hate the Yankees? Why do we hate the Yankees, bro?
Well, for those of you not in the know, Banjo hails from the Houston, Texas area.
Mm-hmm.
And I am from the New York, New Jersey area. I've been a Yankees fan since I was a wee lad.
Right.
And it's cool to hate the Astros for a couple reasons. Number one,
Yes.
the Astros are cheaters, first and foremost.
Look.
For those of you not in the know, go watch. I'm a big fan of John Boy Media. John Boy does a much better job explaining why the Astros cheating scandal is insane. There's tons of great sports pieces about it. Like the Astros cheating scandal is one of the most insane, schemes of cheating in Major League Baseball that cost several people their jobs, several people legacy, and the Astros are now on everybody's number one haters list.
Oh yeah.
And they also, they went through their phases. They were a really bad team for a long time, for as long as I've been watching baseball. Then for the last 8 or 10 years, I think they went to 7 straight American League Championship Series up until this past season where they lost in the first round. So they've been very good. And the Astros swept the Yankees in the playoffs a few years ago, and they beat them in the ALCS back in 2017. So they have been the big brother to the Astros to the Yankees for the last few seasons. It's made me very sad because my team can't get over the hump, and I've seen, I'm an irrational Yankees fan. I'm used to them winning hundreds of games and signing all the big players and paying the win. It's like if Bayonetta was a baseball team. That's what the Yankees are. So it's the best way I can describe it.
And honestly, like if it works, it works. Honestly, and if it's legal, it's legal. I'm with the whole camp that Like I said, like I live in Houston, so it's just like, yo, like whenever like New York comes to town, like I work by Minute Maid. I work right by there. So when New York and like Houston gets together, it's like, yo, like y'all like I didn't know baseball was that deep. I had no idea, bro. I was shocked. I'm like, yo,
It's
like
deep,
I'm
bro.
I'm really, really sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these teams hate each other.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of talk, that the Yankees are in the World Series for the first time in 15 years, which is a
Yes.
big deal. This is a quick baseball note. We'll get to the real content in a second, folks. But just to kind of put this out there, because this is for me, like as someone that I love baseball. It's one of my favorite sports, and I know that baseball isn't everybody else's cup of tea, but even from a casual fan's perspective, this is going to be the best World Series you could watch because you have you have the two best teams in baseball. And not only that, you have star power on both sides. Okay. The Yankees have have two of the best generational athletes on their team right now, and Aaron Judge, who continues to break records every season, and Juan Soto, who is one of the best pound for pound baseball players of all time, and he's younger than Chapel Roan, so he's not turning 26 until November, and he's one of the best athletes that the game's ever seen. He hit that I missed the bus going back to the city on Friday to watch him hit a 3-run home run to win the ALCS. I'm still in shock. I've watched it like 30 times. It's fucking amazing. And the Dodgers on the other side have one of the best two-way athletes of all time in Shohei Ohtani.
Show you Tani. Yes, sir.
He is Japanese Babe Ruth. He's everything as advertised. And he didn't even get the pitch this season because he had Tommy John surgery. So he's completely he was completely pitch free this season, and he put up a 40-40 season. He hit 40 home runs and he stole 40 bases. That's never been done before. It cannot be stressed. Again, I'm a Yankees homer, but I cannot stress how big of a fan I am of Shohei Ohtani. And then you have Mookie Betts, certified winner, one of the best baseball players, five-tool players of this era. So you have star power, even for the casual fans on both sides. And if you're a baseball sweaty like I am, there's a lot riding on this. It's the first time the Yankees and the Dodgers have met in the World Series since 1981. They've been hyping up this Dodgers-Yankees World Series for the last 7 years when both teams are really good. And the Dodgers are trying to kind of shake the monkey of being they won the World Series during the COVID 2020 season, which was like a 36-game season. So everybody says they won a Mickey Mouse championship,
Right.
which they did. But, I'm just not to stir the pot, but I'm just saying, man, I'm looking at you too, LeBron, but it's fine.
At the Adder's championship, bro.
The
bubble, right?
Yeah. shout outs to the bubble ball. That was an era for sure. But it's a good time to be a sports fan. I'm very
Indeed.
excited.
Yeah.
At least in the New York area, the Liberty winning was huge for women's sports. Brianna Stewart's one of the best athletes I've had the pleasure of watching since she was in college. It's insane. The Knicks season starts tomorrow, so I could be an irrational basketball fan again. I'm just very excited to be in my sports bag where all the New York sports are good again. It's the 90s, except I'm alive this time. So it's fucking crazy. But no, listen, that's all fine and dandy. But like we said, it's been a minute. So Banjo, I just want to start by asking how are you doing, man? You've been moving and shaking. You've been doing your thing. I know you've been. So what have you been up to? In the past few months or so. We last talked to each other in January, and we've obviously we're in same channels and group chats and stuff, so we all kind of have a loose idea of how we're all doing. But tell the folks what you've been up to. I know you've been real busy, in a bunch of avenues.
Yeah. Shout out to first of all, shout out to Casa. It's a new group that basically let me into their fold as of recently. Well, I've been there for a little over a year now. But when it comes to just the FGC and things like that, I've been partnering up with them and doing just some content stuff and some FGC casting, especially with Street Fighter 6. That's my jam. I love that game. I play on leverless, bro. I got the crazy
Ooh.
the crazy stick right here.
Good stuff.
I got and as of recently, right, if I haven't been casting everywhere, I've been lucky enough to just been hired for just music gigs. I didn't If you told me that this was going to be a thing 3 years ago, I would have laughed at you in the face. Because now I'm over here like DJing at cons and after parties, and it's a really really good feeling to me. And then I am in my content creation bag just because I like making content. TikTok.com/Banjo plays Banjo. More football stuff. Currently, I'm in the middle of a 31 days of Halloween thing. Every day I posted a video about a Halloween movie that I like, and I have 31 of them I've done. And just because we're movie people, I need to name this list. I've done Alien, Hellraiser, House of Wax, Silence of the Lambs, Terrifier, Evil Dead, Malignant, Scream, Thanksgiving, Dawn of the Dead, The Thing, It Follows, 13 Ghosts, Get Out, Child's Play, Cabin Fever, Smile, Long Legs, The Hills Have Eyes, and today I released no, yesterday I released From Dusk Till Dawn, and today I released Human Centipede. So out of all those movies, I have 22 through 31 left to go with an honorable mention. And then we're going to move on to the next phase of content. I do football content every day. It's static, right? Just because there's always something to talk about no matter what, which I'm very, very thankful for. But like the fact I can just be in my creative bag and just kind of just explore like this thing that I've always wanted to do because I love to talk about shit. So the fact that I've just been able to just do this and like just do it over and over again, it's a really good feeling, and I'm very very happy, and I'm very happy about the way it's going because I'm learning a lot about making short form content and how that's going to go into long form content and things of that nature. So I'm very very. This year has been a journey into mastery. I'll say that it's been a journey into mastery, and I'm very very happy about how things are going because next year I'm definitely going to be cooking at a lot of this stuff. So I'm very happy about it.
No, that makes me happy, man. Again, we've known each other for a long time, and we're both
Mm-hmm.
creative guys, and I've just been, I know that we're all out here grinding and and fighting our butts off to just kind of to get there, and you've been doing great, and I'm so proud of the strides that you've made.
Thank you.
Because I know how great of a guy you are, and the stuff that you're able to create is awesome. And I just think having those people that can cross those different avenues of like creativity, it's so cool. And being able to, I love that you're getting more music gigs because that's awesome. I know that you've been doing DJing stuff for a long time, and I think that's great.
Thank you.
I think music is awesome, and music brings people together. And but and I'm so happy for you and for all your success. And I'm putting all this stuff in the link below. Don't you all get
Thank you.
twisted.
Very thank you,
We
man.
gotta help the boys eat out here. And I'm saying, like the human centipede eats that butt. We need the boys got to eat. So
Oh yeah. What a disgusting movie, dude. Oh god, dude.
it's gross.
I saw
It's so-
I was watching YouTube clips of this morning, and I'm just like I'm seeing him like, how did he get away with this? Like I like who greenlit this? Like I get that this is an exploration into like it's that shock, right? It's the
yeah.
shock value movie, right? And we got that again with Terrifier and Terrifier 2, but Human Centipede was just like he's just doing this for the fuck of it. Like he's just like, yo, like this is
Yeah.
this is what it is, bro. Like wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if this doctor did this and we filmed it? And it's just all right, bro. Like I
You know what it is? I feel like like movies like that were easier to get away with back then because now you have just like the constant stream of information, has just really made it hard to keep secrets in like the film industry. I've had to mute so many. Again, I love movies. I love the consuming of media, and I'm not one to like completely avoid spoilers unless for something I really give a shit about. But it's like people are so tapped in and so good at being able to get stuff out that like the gist of Human Centipede would not have flown now because we would have known about this, like, what the scene looks like
bruh.
on Twitter like 3 weeks before the movie came out.
Right.
So, and now I've seen it's just like now how I have to mute, a very, I have an assortment of hashtags I just have muted on the app formerly known as Twitter, just to save my sanity. Because, like, yeah, it's cool to see what Ben Grimm looks like on the filming of Fantastic Four, but like, I don't want to see that shit right now. Like, It does nothing for me right now. I don't want to see what Superman looks like in the streets, like, even though he looks cool as hell, but like, it's just like, come on, man. Like, I can
We
wait a little
gotta
bit
we
longer.
gotta have a little bit. We gotta bring back a little bit of like mystery and surprise back to the
Yeah.
theater because that's the whole allure of going to the theater, right? We want to see like what y'all have been cooking, and we will judge harshly whether it's good or not. I have. I don't know how this happened, but I have not been spoiled on Transformers One. I don't know how it happened. I'm so excited to watch it tomorrow. I really really am. But that's the allure. Like this is just a surprise. I told you before the podcast. I'm watching this movie called The Substance, right? And I'm
Which
watching
is
it
a
just
fucked
because
up movie.
it just came up on my radar, and I'm just like, let's go in blind, bro. Let's watch it. I'm watching it. I'm just like, yo, like this movie is incredible. This movie is sick, and this is we don't. It's just like it's so easy for people to just access information, right? And like it's so easy for people to just mouth blab on what they saw, and nobody really cares about just the art of the delights of not knowing. No one cares anymore, and it's
Yeah.
just like, damn, bro, like we really could have used a surprise. I don't like somebody's gonna leak Doctor Doom. It's gonna happen. Somebody's
It's
gonna
going to
try to
happen.
leak Doctor Doom, and I'm just gonna like, bro, like
Yeah.
this is the surprise that we want, bro. You have to just wait. Let it marinate a little bit, man.
I think the entirety of July 2025, I might just take a month off, just to kind of save myself
Oh
the
yeah,
save the allure. And it's just like it's I don't know. I just feel like we're a little too tapped in sometimes. I feel like we're like a little too locked into the matrix. And it just segues into something else I wanted to ask you about, but because like I think back to when Deadpool came out, and I did what I do before any huge, like tentpole Marvel release is I just went completely, dark on social media for like a week before the movie because
right,
I did not want to be spoiled. And I'm glad I went that route because I'm very happy with what the movie came out with. But then you have like Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy like quote tweeting people that are straight up recording the screen in their theaters. And I'm just like, listen, I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to, you know, paint a bigger scope for, what we're trying to hyper analyze about your movie. But it's like, brother, like, like the
right.
people go see it in the theaters.
Right. But at that point, like this is Deadpool and Wolverine, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. And if you haven't seen it yet, I mean, more power to you if you haven't seen it yet. But like the movie's absolutely incredible. It's really really good. And this is the year of fan service. Just know that this 2024 is the year of fan service when it comes to media. It just really is, and it
Yeah.
should show you that fan service works. It does, right? It just does. Not only for music, but also for video games, for movies, for television. Fan service, it just works, guys. So, like,
Yeah.
I pooped my pants when I was in the theater and I was watching it, and I'm just like, there's no way that they kept this a secret for this long, right? And that's what
Yeah.
we're talking about when like, yeah, the lights of like we didn't know that this could have ever been possible. And Marvel, like, if there was one thing to inject energy back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it was definitely this movie.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. And I haven't been able to do like a full episode on the movie yet. So this is going to be our time to talk about it. And I agree. I thought that, Marvel coming into this year, as they even put in the movie, it's kind of on a downswing right now. Because you're kind
Yeah,
of joining at a low point. Sans what Wade Wilson says. But yeah, I mean, it's true. Marvel has not been the juggernaut it has been in media for the last, few years for a litany of decisions. Some things good. Some things good. Guardians 3 I thought was phenomenal. I like that a lot. But then you have stuff like Secret Invasion that just like didn't work.
yeah, at all.
I tried. I'm just like, this is just so bad. Like, like it was just so bad. Like, this is one of the most iconic stories in comic books, and it's awful. Like the
Yeah,
entirety of it just stunk to high heaven, and I'm just like, I didn't love it, and like I think they're doing a better job now, of understanding that quality is better than quantity. They really scaled back this year in what's turned into be a phenomenal movie that's breaking box office numbers. All that's breaking records. We're
one
almost
billion,
back
I
to printing
believe.
money again. And then you have a really good series that we'll talk about in a bit as well. But yeah, I love Deadpool. I'm very happy I went in spoiler free, and the only when I obviously saw Chris Evans back on the screen,
Right.
I freaked out. And then I realized who he was playing, and I freaked out again, which was cool. And then, obviously, how seeing Wesley Snipes play Blade again. Never thought I'd see the day. It was phenomenal. Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum has permanently affected the way I speak.
Yeah, right.
And like that whole bit was great. So I'm sure you go ahead. How was your brain firing off when all that was happening at once?
I haven't heard a theater sound like a soccer stadium in a while, so it was very very electric that day. I went to go see that movie, like, and it was just crazy because like the lore of Marvel runs so deep, and like I know people younger than me are watching the movie, so like they didn't know that some people are asking me like I didn't know Blade was a thing, and it's just like yeah, bro, like he was our introduction into just comic book movies in general. He was, and if you look into the history of it, Blade was like the hinging factor on whether comic book movies were going to work at all. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and then when that happened, the boom happened, and all the studios started buying up comic book IP, right? But nobody can tell you this lore because you're 19 and you don't know, right? Nobody knows
Yeah.
that Blade 2 was directed by Guillermo del Toro. Nobody knows.
No, nobody knows that.
Nobody knows that an Oscar-winning director directed a very good Blade sequel. Like nobody remembers. Channing Tatum as Gambit is just like that movie showed people that this actually works and these things could actually work if y'all just give it a chance. Y'all don't have to put them to the wayside. Y'all don't have to discard them. The fan service actually works. I don't even know how we would do a Gambit movie, but I'm in. I don't know how we would bring Elektra back with Daredevil, but I'm in. And of course, I've been in for a Blade movie for the longest time. I'm also a comic book reader. I've read Blood Hunt. Yeah, I'm down for a Blade movie, 1,000%. But like that movie is just like it encompassed everything I wanted about Wolverine being back and being in the MCU where he belongs. And it's just like
Yeah.
I wouldn't that the way that Wolverine was portrayed about just an old sad drunkard but also reluctant hero is just like, bro, like you're literally taking Wolverine straight out of the page, bro. As it should be. Like it's perfect.
Yeah, no, it was beautiful stuff to watch happen. And listen, in all respects to Taylor Kitsch's portrayal of Wolverine, is what I would say because that was just that. We don't talk about X-Men Origins. That movie is that's a tough movie to watch. That's a yikes. That's a tough movie, but no, I agree. I think what Marvel, even when their products not at their best, what they do for the most part is stay very true to the source material. And we've all been, they poked really good fun at themselves, and I'm surprised, truthfully, I'm surprised with how much they let Ryan Reynolds and company get away with, and how much they let them kind of punch down, which was very fun for me. But like, getting to see and getting to see Wesley Snipes again was awesome because people talk about that original X-Men trilogy and the Spider-Man movies and how they, were groundbreaking for comic book movies. None of that happens without Blade's success. So, those
Yes.
movies are phenomenal. And I think they get lost in the shuffle a lot of the time. The deep cut of Channing Tatum finally getting to play Gambit is hilarious. And, again, he's permanently affected the way I talk, man. And he's like, woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here. Like,
Bro, like
every time it's hilarious. And
the
then
comedy slash action movie that they could do with this shit, bro. Like it would be the greatest thing I've ever seen, bro. I swear,
yeah.
bro.
I so desperately need the Channing Tatum, Kiki Palmer, Rogue.
I need that right. I was about to say that. I need that right now.
Share,
right now.
share.
And I need like, oh god, dude, like the crazy potential for like not a buddy comedy, but like a romance,
A
like a me
romantic
myself,
comedy.
like a me myself and Irene type thing is literally just boiling in front of my face right here, and then you get somebody that just play Magneto as like the guy who's trying to steal Rogue, bro, it writes itself, and I think the MCU is finally starting to learn, like for 10 years we ran movie theaters. What
Yeah.
made the movie so special? Let's get back to that. And this in Deadpool and Wolverine is it's that Marvel movie magic. The movie made $1 billion. It was
Yeah,
$1 billion movie.
yeah,
Wanna know why? It wasn't because it was following a storyline or it was technical. Like, bro, it was just because we love Deadpool and Wolverine, and the movie is fun. It's a fun movie.
yeah.
Do this again. If they do this with Captain America: Brave New World and make it basically like Winter Soldier was, bro.
We're
They're
back,
on the
bro.
we're back. We're back. We are back.
We're
We're
we are
on the
so
path.
back. Yeah, listen, I would sign up for a rom com of Gambit, Rogue, and Magneto because we all know why they rented out the Danger Room for 3 hours in X Men
Oh yeah.
'97, bro. They
Oh
were
yeah.
fucking
Oh yeah.
they were doing like zero gravity shit in there or something.
Every
They were
every
up to level
every
9.
environment possible.
But yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine was awesome. Again, shout outs to, and it's even like seeing like the bad movies. Like everyone knows that Electro is a horrible movie. God bless Jennifer Gardner, man. But seeing her come back and have fun with it, like poking fun about how Daredevil died in the movie, like it's funny. Like that's great.
It is.
And like and even that, like the movie had, for a movie that was again very funny. It's an R-rated comedy. It had a lot of heart in it too. And I think this, and I wish I didn't watch the last trailer with Daphne Keane in it. We didn't need to see that. Like you were gonna go see the movie anyway. So like seeing just Logan and X-23 on this and Laura on the screen again, it was beautiful. And when she put on the sunglasses, I was the only one in my theater that freaked the fuck out because of this. Because like it's like the little shit that Marvel does like that, or just
Yeah.
like they'll like, it's like when the portal opened in Endgame and you hear Sam say "on your left." Like that's for the people that really pay attention to that shit. I'm just like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. And like it was like watching her put the sunglasses on that she gets in Logan. It's awesome. And the movie was great. I look forward to seeing what they do with these characters because, like they said, Hugh Jackman is going to play this role till he's 90.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh yeah.
Most likely.
Probably.
Especially with they're going to reuse these characters again at some point. They're going to have to, if they want Secret Wars to be Secret Wars, you need Doctor Doom and you need Wolverine there. So those are two very important characters, obviously. But
I agree. I agree.
yeah,
I agree.
that was a lot of fun. So I guess while we're on the subject, you got any like takes after the last few months knowing that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to play Doom? You got any strong feelings about this?
I think people look. I love this pick, and this is why, right? I think people overreact. People say like it's a miscast. People do this all the time with these castings and like, oh my god, this is miscast. Like when Aaron Pierre got cast as Green Lantern, right? Everybody's like, oh my god, this is a miscast. This doesn't make any sense. Listen, I don't give a. Especially when it comes to Doctor Doom, I don't care who they put in that suit. I don't. I don't care who they put in that suit because the performance is phenomenal. It doesn't really matter who's in that suit. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter, and it's been like people forget that we have 3 different Spider-Men. We have
They're all
we
great.
have we have 3 different. We have more than 3 Batmen that we like. Like they and like bro, y'all have to understand. It does not matter who gets in that suit. It doesn't. Like as long as that performance is phenomenal. Okay, cool. Now I get that people are gonna have a little bit of trouble with the disconnect between, with Robert Downey Jr. But like, bro, if that performance he's an Oscar winner. Like,
Yeah.
what? Why are we complaining here? Like, he's an Oscar winning actor. You don't think? And who better to put on that suit than someone who actually knows the nucleus, the DNA of what goes into a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie? Who knows? Who knows better than him that, oh, hey, we know that this bad guy, Doctor Doom, has to be monumental. Oh, wait, it's the Russos. Maybe we should get them to do. Oh, wait, they are. What are we complaining about here? We're not complaining about anything here, guys. There's nothing to
Yeah.
complain about. And I know this is going to seem very weird for me to say about the MCU, especially with the last few years, right? Let them cook.
Yeah.
Let them cook. Let them cook. I haven't seen Agatha all along yet, but I've heard very good things. Right? Y'all saw X-Men '97, and then y'all saw Deadpool, and then y'all saw Deadpool and Wolverine. Let these. I think they've learned their lesson. Let the MCU cook. Let them cook.
Yeah, I think they've done enough to prove that they're listening to what's going on here because it's very clearly, I love that they've at least they're trying to do something different. All right. They realized that what the direction they were going was not working. It was not sustainable. And they looked at what was happening with Kang and they're just like, you know what? Scratch that. We're going a different direction. And again, like you said, in the Russo brothers, I trust. They've directed 3 of the best MCU movies. They print money. They're still cashing those checks from those films, and they will cash them for the rest of their lives. And I think you raised a great point there about you don't really care about who's in the suit because you saw that same sort of backlash when the Fantastic Four casting came out. I mean, granted, that's a little bit different because that's been one of the worst kept secrets since the actor strike.
Yeah,
everybody kind of knew what was going on there, like. Once and everybody was trying to throw everyone into that role, like they're trying to throw like Penn Badgley as like the guy to play Mr. Fantastic. Like there's Adam Driver. It's like, sorry, Megalopolis, like calm down. Like, you stay far away from this movie, buddy. But, like, and everyone's just like, oh, Pedro Pascal is just like, oh, he's like, shut up. He's great.
Yes,
he's been one of the best. He's milking multiple Disney checks now, which is great. The Mandalorian has been nothing but a rousing success. The Last of Us was a smash hit, and it's going to continue to be a smash hit in its second seasons. And Pedro Pascal is one of the most accomplished actors in Hollywood right now. So and at the time, before we knew who Dr. Doom was, Marvel was lacking a severe lack of star power in these movies. You love guys like Anthony Mackie. You love guys like Sebastian Stan. You love these people that are in these movies, but they're not like stars, the way that some of these other guys are. So attaching someone like Pedro Pascal to your project is awesome. And for the people that watch a lot of that media, like you and I do, you hear, Joseph Quinn, he was great in Stranger Things. Vanessa Kirby has been great in the Mission Impossible movies.
Yes.
And Evan Moss-Backrack, he's in one of the best shows on television right now. So of course I'm excited for this. And I ask everyone else to be patient with that. And I think everyone now in retrospect is, hindsight's 2020. Everybody's come around to that idea. So I think we'll see what happens in the trajectory forward because, you said you haven't seen Agatha yet, but I have. And I've been pleasantly surprised because I didn't really have great expectations coming into this series.
Wow.
How the Marvel TV stuff has been.
Wow.
And because, you know what it was? Because, like, I loved WandaVision. Everybody loved WandaVision. It's still talked about in the pantheon of great, the great stuff that Marvel's done with the television side of things, because a lot of that stuff's been very hit or miss. Like, for every WandaVision you get Secret Invasion, which again, I cannot stress enough how bad that show is.
I actually, that's probably the best comparison I've ever heard. Like, honestly, like, for every one you get one.
Yeah, exactly. And like people will use She-Hulk as the example. I liked aspects of She-Hulk. I agree, but like, I think Marvel's realized their issues is that they're penning people that don't do TV. They were penning people that don't do TV to do TV stuff. And now that they've branched off that side of Marvel to its own division of Marvel Television, I think you're going to see a much more structured, proper writer's room for these sort of things. And again, Agatha, I wasn't sure if I was going to, like it or not. I love Catherine Hahn. I think she's hilarious. And anything Aubrey Plaza is in is a sell for me. I'll watch anything she's in. I love her. And this show's blown my expectations. It's been very, very good so far. It's great to get you in the mood for the Halloween. The last episode was phenomenal. Not everything's sort of starting to come together. You understand why the show exists. And I'm truly blown away with how good it is. I think they're starting to figure this this TV side of things out, and I hope that continues on. In the next few seasons of whatever else they choose to do. But yeah, no, listen, Agatha has been great. And if you're looking for my recommendation, I highly recommend it if you're on the fence about it. It's really, really good TV right now.
Yeah, I've been just kind of just waiting in the wings, just letting it stack up a little bit. So like, but now that they had the perennial episode 5, right? So now things are starting to like really come together, right? Every Marvel episode 5 is a banger episode, no matter what series it is, except for Secret Invasion. That show actually sucks. It's not good. But
guys, I can't stress enough. That show is so bad.
I'm telling you, bro. Don't do it.
I don't want to kick a dead, beat a dead horse, but my God, that horse is dead, bro. God bless him. but yeah, I think the comic book TV stuff has always been very hit or miss so far. We were talking a little bit about it, in our preamble, but another big show right now, one that I kind of showed up late to, but I binge watched it last week, was The Penguin. Um, Another show that that I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it. Matt Reeves, everyone was very unsure about how they were going to feel after binge watching it a couple of nights ago to fully catch up on everything. This is one of the best shows on television right now, and if you're not watching it, you're throwing.
Listen, I haven't seen Matt Reeves create one bad thing yet.
He does not miss. He's never missed.
He's never missed, bro. Go watch the Planet of the Apes trilogy that that finished a few years back. Watch the Batman, obviously. Watch the Batman, which is literally the best Batman movie that's not The Dark Knight, by the way. And then sitting here and watching the Penguin, bro. This is who cares about the Penguin? That's what makes this show so good. Because who cares about the Penguin? I didn't care about the Penguin. I do now. Yeah. Because watching these performances on screen have been so goddamn compelling. And really, it shows like a side of Gotham that we've just never seen before, bro. Like we've always known that like Gotham has, the mob and crime families and such, but we never really equated them to like the actual like cartoony villains that come onto the show or come into the Batman pantheon. Like, oh my God, it's the Mad Hatter, but here's Carmine Falcone. The Mad Hatter's awful. We gotta get him out of here. But do you really know how evil Carmine Falcone is?
No, people don't understand.
And then it's just like when you watch that show, it's actually just been like really, really phenomenal and really, really compelling too. Like you could have no affiliation or attachment to Batman at all, and you could direct this to somebody who's like, "Hey, you a Peaky Blinders fan? You should go check out the Penguin." Honestly, if you're a Mayor of Kingstown fan, bro, go check out go check out Penguin, bro. That's where we're at with the series. I haven't seen the latest episode, right? I'm
still an episode behind as well. So
right. So like I'm watching that episode later tonight. But yeah, I am very, very impressed about how well the Penguin is doing, and I can't wait for the end.
Yeah, the way I've described it to people that live around me is that like it's kind of just like The Sopranos, but with Batman characters. Like you see a very seedy, crimed, version of Gotham. You see a very street level version of Gotham, which is awesome. And other shows have tried this stuff, like the titular series Gotham. They've tried, but that show personally wasn't my cup of tea. But like, I appreciate these shows for trying. But I think Colin Farrell's in his bag. I thought he was phenomenal as the Penguin in the Matt Reeves' The Batman, and I think he's great in this too. And Kristen Milioti has been so good in this show. I am willing to forgive how bad the end of How I Met Your Mother is. She has been so in her bag. And again, we haven't watched the most recent episode, but the episode before where we find out what happens to Sophia what happens to her when she goes to Arkham. Give her an Emmy. I will give her the Emmy myself. I will. Listen. I'm free tomorrow. I will give you an Emmy, Kristen Milioti, if you're listening to this. Like when you're listening to this, like she's done other stuff too. She was in another HBO series that I heard has been very good, and like. I was just talking to a bunch of my friends, and I was just like, we were all just like, yeah, like. I'm mad at the people at How I Met Your Mother for writing her so poorly, but I'm willing to forgive them now because she's in her bag so hard right now, and she's been phenomenal. I think like you said, the Falcone family is such an interesting side of these movies we don't get to see very often because Batman's other rogues gallery is just so big. But like again, shout outs to one of my like favorite weird characters in the Batman pantheon, Alberto Falcone, who is also known as the Holiday Killer in Batman pantheon, who only kills people on major holidays. It's so funny. It's up there with like Polka Dot Man as like these like weird fucking characters, and he's like in these comic book. It's like a character in The Boys. It's so silly. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's so over the top. So Um, no, I just think the stuff. I just think the writing in the show is fantastic. I love the way it's shot. You know, these they really give a shit about these, Elseworld things. And again, this does not weave into like James Gunn's big picture. Obviously, they're gonna let this do its own thing, which I think is great.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
excited to see what they do next with whatever this next movie is. I've heard rumors that Mr. Freeze might be on the table, which I think would be cool. No pun
right.
intended, but
Yeah, I would love Mister
um,
Freeze to be on the table, and also they're talking about Clayface, which is like
yeah,
I'm just excited about like villains who just we haven't seen before, and of course with Matt Reeves and with Paul Dano's involvement, like they've always talked about Court of Owls, so I feel like we might be getting that here sooner than later.
I would not say no. I'm excited, man. And that's the thing, like, that's probably you're gonna run into with like a lot of these franchises where like they've done it so many times. We've like I said, we've had 3 Spider-Mans. So like we've had these iterations of characters over and over again. Of course, once you get past like the big, arsenal of rogue gallery, you're gonna get into some weird characters. So like I think Batman still has like plenty of wiggle room there. Like you said, Clayface, I'm shocked that we haven't seen more of him in a live action sense. So I'm excited, man. I think for a while it was kind of hard being a fan of Marvel, and for a long time it was hard, being a fan of DC. But I think, with what we've seen of what Superman looks like so far, and the stuff with the lanterns, which is exciting to me, like we talked about a little bit, I'm really excited to see what this stuff looks like. We're getting crypto, bro. Crypto's so
Bro,
cool.
I don't know what James Gunn is doing, bro. Like he should every time we get an update about this movie, he's like, all right, we're adding this. Okay, we're adding this. All right, we're adding this. It's just like, bro, like the fact that like, oh my god, bro, like I was so excited to hear about like just James Gunn taking over, but like the fact that he was just doing a Superman movie. There's so much at risk for the Superman movie, but at the same time, I feel just a certain level of comfort and excitement just because I know James Gunn is you know at the helm, and what James Gunn is very very known for doing is just taking a bunch of ragtag characters and making them likable. But in this case, it's not a bunch of for the first time, it's not a bunch of ragtag characters that we don't know. They're kind of known
Yeah.
in the DC pantheon, but like James Gunn purposely picked the weird ones. Like we know your MO, James Gunn. We knew that you weren't gonna go with an original. Oh well, hey, let's show the Justice League. We knew that you weren't gonna do this. So the fact
No.
that you have put things like Mister Terrific and Hawk Girl and Metamorpho is just like, yo, like this is the weird land of DC that we're getting into. But if it's James Gunn, the character is going to be super likable. And
Yeah. And we're gonna get Guy Gardner Green Lantern by
guy,
Nathan Fillion. That's fucking awesome. That's so
yes,
cool. Like,
yes,
the what's his face? Nicholas Holt as Lex Luthor, I think is really cool. So
yeah,
now, shout out to my boy Beast, for rest in peace. Nah, listen, it's exciting time, man. Again, I've been pretty Superman pilled lately. I actually just finished the latest season of My Adventures with Superman. That's a show that I personally really like. I love Jack Quaid. I'm a big fan of the boys. And I just love the way the show is just so beautifully animated. And I love the different approaches they've taken on some of the Superman stuff. So I'm very excited to get back into a version of my life where I'm both DC and Marvel pilled, because it's been a while since they both have been good, man. I'm very
yes.
very excited. So talking about some, we just kind of going through the pantheon of things that we've been watching and liking, in various mediums. Well, so you've been watching a lot of horror stuff. We've been watching a lot of superhero stuff. Obviously, what's like something else that you just saw recently that you've been really big on?
Woo! So I'm on the Mike Flanagan train finally. Earlier this year, I knocked out. It was actually a couple months ago. I knocked out Midnight Mass. It's by far maybe one of the best horror things I've ever seen in my entire life. So as of recently, it's like a couple days ago, I started Haunting of Hill House, right?
Oh,
And I've never seen it before. I went in blind. I'm enjoying that like just a lot, a lot. And like I said, if you want a Halloween movie that'll really tickle your fancy. I mean, The Substance. So find a way to watch The Substance, bro. It's actually just Really, really good. Those are the things that I've been on as of recently.
Yeah, I was gonna go watch that tomorrow. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Like
Yeah.
I've been very, I'm trying to get into the Halloween mood as one does. I said
Hmm.
on another podcast, I just saw the newest Alien film.
Oh my
Alien Covenant.
god, dude. Oh my god, bro. I've been waiting for so long to find an alien movie that I liked other than Alien Resurrection and Aliens
Yeah,
1 and 2. So like, yo, like that movie, and I knew for a fact that Fede Alvarez was going to cook. I knew it. I was so thrilled about how that movie went, and that in the reception of it too. It's just like, yes, bro, please, please, thank
yeah.
you so much.
Alien's cool, and I think those movies. I think my life is better when those movies are good, for sure. I'm a huge fan. No, listen, Mike Flanagan is a genius. I love all the stuff that he's made. The Haunting of Hill House is one of my favorite shows. I actually was just about to start watching the Fall of the House of Usher. That's the one thing I haven't seen yet
Oh wow.
out of his stuff. So it's all really good. I'm very much in the spirit, getting in the swing of things. There's just a lot of good content out right now. As uh, we're a few days away from Sonic X Shadows Generations coming out, so I'm excited about that.
They have been saying like the embargo for reviews released, and they're saying that this is one of the best games to come out all year, which is I know you're a Sonic fan and you're approaching this with the most cautious optimism. I
Yeah,
know.
I have
But
trust issues.
right, as a Sonic fan would, and as I do, right? Because I love Sonic the Hedgehog, but if you're a Sonic fan, like like the history of this game, and you know that everything is good in Sonic except for the games. Like that's the meme. But like I think, like I said, when I made an illusion earlier, I said this year is the year for fan service. What way to make the fan service better than to just front load Sonic the Hedgehog with all the best things about Sonic the Hedgehog, and then also bring in Shadow the Hedgehog. I've seen the animated prequel that cooks absolutely. They're
Oh yeah,
releasing the Sonic Slam DLC, which is like the pixelated like Sonic. They're releasing Keanu Reeves version of Sonic into the Sonic Generations game. They said that this
beautiful.
game is one of the best Sonic games ever made, and I don't believe that for a minute, but I want to play this so bad, so bad.
I want to believe it so bad. Again, I'm very much all here for the Year of Shadow. I said on an episode I did recently with my friend that how the casting of Keanu Reeves as Shadow the Hedgehog has been like it was up there for me as like the John Krasinski fans casting of like Mr. Fantastic.
Right.
How we were just like, it'll be cool. They'll never fucking do it, but it would be cool if they did. And then they went and did, and they broke the fucking glass. Like I heard, I heard rumors for a long time it was going to be Hayden Christensen, and I would have been totally okay with that. I love Hayden Christensen. I thought that would have been phenomenal. But Keanu Reeves just has like there's a different aura around him. I actually went to go see The Matrix in theaters because of it was celebrating an anniversary this year. I think it
Oh,
was
the
like 20th,
20th.
the
Yeah,
20th
the
anniversary. Yeah,
20th. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and it was great. That's one of the best action movies ever made. And I'm just like Keanu Reeves in his bag here. I was watching Point Break at work the other day. It was a weird movie
No.
to have on in the break room, but my God, I'm not mad about it. Like Keanu Reeves just has a different stink about him, and I said it then, and I'll say it now. Like where Sonic as a franchise has been, like you said, it's a lot of timid optimism. We all really want these things to be good, but we don't really want to trust all the way fully with both feet because we've been burnt before. That's how I was with the movies for a long time. I really wanted these movies to be good. I wasn't sure how good they were going to be good. It's just like, okay, you're gonna put this side character. I love Ben Schwartz. He's a phenomenal comedian. You know, uh, you know, James Marsden. That's Cyclops. That's my goat. I'll show
Right.
up. I'll be there. I don't know how I'm gonna feel after the fact. And then the movie was a pleasant surprise. And then you kind of elevate that a little bit with Idris Elba, okay? And then you get full star power here with Keanu Reeves. You're getting these really, really big people to show up in your movie. Um, and I'm excited. I can safely say I'm excited for this movie to come out, and the fact that it's October. I keep saying, I still got time to like hype myself up for this movie. It's almost November. It's gonna be November in like 2 weeks.
Oh
The
yeah.
year is melting by. Soon it'll be. It's almost time to start defrosting Mariah Carey.
Oh
We
yeah.
gotta we gotta start getting her. Getting her out of the fridge.
Oh yeah. You can
Before you
hear
know it, this
that
movie's gonna be knocking down my door, and I don't know how I'm gonna feel.
that iceberg is cracking. Like that she's behind that iceberg, and you can just faintly hear "All I Want for Christmas." You can barely hear it, man. I'm telling you. So, man, Sonic, just like being back in this capacity, it's just like it's been a really like strange year for video games. Like,
Yeah.
because like it's been like a bunch of like cool tech advancements, right? And controversies. Like Sony had that weird like month last month to where they were just doing like weird like back to back things. Like, oh well, the director of Japan says that Sony really doesn't have any IPs, and then there was that whole backlash, and then literally a week later, Astrobot is apparently the best platformer next to Super Mario Galaxy, and then the next week they're just like, "Oh well, we really don't like the pricing of the PlayStation Pro, and we really feel like the Slim is kind of just like a humdrum system." And then they released a 30th anniversary trailer with all of like the 30th anniversary like retro stuff on it. I would very much like one, please, Sony. But in anyway, um, but it's just like, and then of course, you have Call of Duty releasing this week. You have Sonic Generations releasing this week, and then you had that State of Play to where they did all those games. Dragon Age was in it. That looks really cool. That looks very cool. And then I forgot that
So
in
good.
our hiatus, that Concord game just fell like right on its face, dude. Like I was just like
Yikes.
7 years, like 21, like how many millions? How many M's? Like 20 million M's? I'm just like, nah, bro, that's a lot of money. And
It's a
it's just
lot of
gonna be
bread.
it's gonna be so awkward too, because like there's still one more surprise that I'm sure you and I are both looking forward to. Love, Death and Robots creator is coming out with a show on Amazon called
Oh my gosh, I'm so
Secret
excited.
Secret Level. And if you guys don't know what Secret Level is, just look it up and then look at the list of the stuff that they're adapting. I saw Warhammer 40K. I saw what is that? Not I was gonna say Mech Assault. I saw Armed Core. I saw Mega Man. Like
Dog.
that's like bro, like that's what type of generation we're in. And
You're gonna get Pac-Man and Sifu. That's so fucking cool.
Sifu is gonna. Oh my god, bro!
It's gonna be so
If y'all
awesome.
haven't played Sifu, bro, it's oh my goodness, dude.
Yeah, December 10th. For all of you that are that are waiting anxiously at home. Again, the holiday content's gonna be so good this year. I'm
Oh
very
yeah,
excited. Um, But yeah, but before we close out here today, I wanted to bookend this with the music stuff again, because you've been doing a lot of after parties, you've been doing a lot of music events.
oh yeah.
Um, I'm sure as someone that's been a DJ for a long time, you get some fun requests. What is the one song whenever someone requests is you loathe to have to play it? Like what's the song that white people love?
Dude. Stop asking me to play Chapel fucking Roan. Stop asking me. Stop asking me. I'm not that kind of DJ. Don't come up here. Don't come up there with your phone and be play this for me. Like, bro, like stop. I'm not you have to trust me. You have to trust me. Right? I know what job I have. I understand. Chapel Roan, just because she rules your fucking Spotify doesn't mean she roam the when you come in the room and I'm DJing, this is my domain. And I play for you when you're in my domain. Okay? Like stop asking me to play Chapel Roan for you.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I I went to a on a whim. I went to emo night like earlier this month, end of last month, and I love pop punk, like any, guy in his early 30s, late 20s, like, we all grow up with a certain type of music, and it was fun. I've been to emo night before. It was a great time, but they lost the plot really hard with me on this one. Like, they had like 4 different DJs come up which was like cool, whatever. But like then they had like this guy's like engagement party come because I guess he was friends with the DJ, and then that guy started requesting songs, and they already started requesting songs that they played already, and then at one point they started playing Chapel Rome, and I'm just like, listen,
at emo night.
that's what I'm saying. Like I made friends with this couple that was there, and we've all just kind of looked at each other. We're just like, I mean, I'm gonna dance the Hot to Go because it's on, but I'm just like, I'm very confused as to what's going on here. And then they just stopped playing emo
here
music.
for.
Yeah, like at one point they had this guy come up. He was literally just playing like lo-fi Latin music with his like with his posse of with his harem of people that were there, and I'm just
Bro.
like. I was just like, what is... We lost the plot so hard, man.
Bro,
it was insane.
Even I know the Infinity Gauntlet of emo night songs, right? It's supposed to be The Killers. What is that?
Yep, Mr. Brightside.
Mr. Brightside.
The White People Anthem.
All the Small Things.
Yep.
What is that other one? Wake Me Up Inside.
Yep. Evanescence. That song from Daredevil.
And there's two more I forgot. It's definitely not those old ones. It's not Queen. It's not the song by Queen or the song by Journey. That's not for emo night.
No. But, I'd say I think it's both the My Chemical Romance songs. I think
yes.
I'm Not Okay.
I'm Not Okay.
A big one.
Yes.
And Welcome to the Black Parade are two of like those are like in terms of just like your pantheon of emo songs. Like at a bare minimum, you have to hear those.
And if you want to get like fancy with it, you throw in some Paramore, right? If you want to get like a little creative with it, then that's cool. But like, okay, I'm not gonna play Latin loaf. Like, bro, don't lose the plot of emo night. Emo night. I've been to many an emo night, bro, and like the energy there is crazy. Every time I've gone, and like. As a DJ, I think people getting involved is like huge, and crowd involvement is huge because it boosts their energy, it boosts your energy. That makes it easier for the DJ, so that way you can literally go into something that you like a little bit, and they'll be okay with it because they're already vibing, they're already getting what they want. But like, yeah, bro, completely just doing like flipping the switch on like emo night. That's a big no. We don't do that, guys. Don't do that.
Yeah, no, that was weird, but it's always fun getting the insight from an actual DJ on these sort of things. So, but take that word of advice. Don't lose the plot of emo night and stop asking Banjo to play Chapel Rome.
Don't do that either. Don't do that shit, please.
I will say, speaking of white women in pop music, I just want to give a quick shout out to something I listened to on my way into work today. I had no idea that it had been 25 years since Christina Aguilera's self-titled album came out. I love me some Christina Aguilera. She did a Spotify EP of like 5 of her most popular songs from that album. It was phenomenal. It was all done with like live backup vocalists and like instrumentation. Sick shit. She did a duet with What a Girl Wants with Sabrina Carpenter, and I'm just like, man, white women are great, man. Shout outs to y'all. That was an absolute banger. That album slaps, bro. It's so good.
It's so funny, dude.
Oh man, that's I love my life sometimes, man. This is but Banjo, it's always so good to sit down and talk to you, man. I love knowing that, basking in my friend's success, and again, I'm so happy that you're doing well and you're doing your thing. And please let the people know where they can find you, where they can keep up with you. Now, when we mentioned it, sprinkled in that out, but one more time for the people in the back, please.
TikTok.com/Banjo Plays Banjo, or you go to YouTube.com/Banjo Plays Banjo. I upload the same things throughout multiple social media platforms, but the name remains the same. It's just Banjo Plays Banjo. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on X. You can find me on SoundCloud even. Yeah. So like I'm trying to really get the feelers out there as much as I possibly can, but I am everywhere. So any one of those will do you.
Yeah, and we'll make sure to put that all below as well. If you guys want to keep up to date with me, I'm at Koopa NJ across various social media platforms. I obviously host this very show This episode will be coming out later in the week. I have an episode that just came out with, by the time you're watching this, I had an episode come out with my good friend Sleepy Kokiri. We also talked about horror movies because it's the spooky month. I got a whole bunch of other fun stuff planned as we get into more like the concurrent stuff. Obviously we have a lot of great films coming out, between now and the rest of the year, great TV stuff coming out, and just meet the general talk with my friends. I'm also big into trading cards. If you're not following me on Twitter, I also host a Pokemon trading card game podcast with my buddy George, the
Let's
Squawk
go.
and Seas podcast. So y'all can check that out. We're on all your various podcasting sites. But yeah, you guys can check me out there, and you guys can check us out again soon. And for those of you guys who are tuning in, thank you so much for watching and listening, and we will catch you guys in the next episode. Good night, everybody.